Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that was kind of creepy the way I did that. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey of the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're well. Yeah, I heard that coming out of my mouth. Like, no, don't do that. That's just wrong. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Are you naked? That's just not the proper way to start a show, honestly. How are you guys? What is this? Thursday, right? It's our Thursday show. It's hump day as we speak, but this is the Thursday show. Just a heads up, we will be doing a game stream later. Conditionally, we have a storm warning in effect from midnight through noon, so I will do the best I can. But until then, let's go ahead and get this going, guys. Have you been watching what's going on with the whole Crowder thing? Oh my God, it got brought up on the show briefly last night. Somebody asked me about it in chat, and I mentioned it quickly. Steven Crowder made a video yesterday where he was talking about the offers he's been fielding since he's leaving the Blaze. Steven Crowder's been working for the Blaze or CRTV before the Blaze snatched it up for quite a while, and just out of nowhere, near the end of the year, he told us, yes, he was leaving the Blaze, and like, wow. He hasn't explained exactly why. Just there were some disputes, and that's the smart way to handle it. That is the smart way to do it, because you don't want to burn bridges, which makes the rest of what we're going to talk about really fucking weird. So Steven, he comes out and he's like, look, I've been getting these contracts from people, and we got to stop the con. We got to stop the con. The conservatives out there who are screwing over independent creators to take their money, basically making it sound like any conservative network you're going to sign on with is going to be the modern day iteration of the Motown record companies. And he brings up this fucking document, and he says it's a contract. It's actually a jumping off point. It's preliminary terms. It's not an actual contract, but these are the preliminary terms that some company, and he didn't tell us who, can probably tell by the title, but he didn't tell us who it was. That these are the terms, and he accused them of doing things like sticking up for big tech and doing their job for him, because if he were to get banned from the platform, he would lose, say banned from YouTube, he'd lose 20% of the deal that they were giving him. Like, damn, that sounds like a lot. All right. So he goes through it, and yeah, I mean, it sounds like really bad deals, but the one thing at least that I saw, and I'll be honest, I didn't watch the full video of his. I got bored about halfway through. I'm like, okay, I get it. You don't really like the contract negotiations, so you're a big guy. Start your own company. It's not that hard to do. But I didn't see him tell us how much. Well, this led to a whole bunch of people going, oh my God, who is it? Who is it? Who could it be? A lot of people guessed the Daily Wire. Give yourself a pat on the back if you did. One guy's like, no, it's Fox News. You see, if you look at the contract and you plug in, what do you say? He plugged in 200 different LLCs and corporations, and the only one that fit was Fox News. I think your typeset's a little off, homie. But unexpectedly, the Daily Wire came out and went, yeah, it was us. It was us. Jeremy Boring, that I didn't name him, guys. His name is actually Jeremy Boring. That somebody named Jeremy Boring works for the Daily Wire is so fitting on a lot of levels. And that's not to say that all of the Daily Wire's content is boring. Some of it is. But Jeremy Boring, Boreing. They don't even spell boring right. He came out tonight with almost a 40-minute video saying, yep, no, actually it was almost an hour. It was us. And here's why the contract was actually a good thing. He said it was a jumping off point. It was not an actual contract. This was just the preliminary workings. As he puts it, these are our jumping off points. You send it over to them. They cross off and change things, then we cross off. It's just the beginning of the negotiations. Fair enough. But he tells us the dollar amount. The dollar amount, $50 million over 4 years. That's not bad money. It's $1.25 million. And that's their jumping off point. And he said that he thought Stephen would probably ask for a bit more. He tells us later in the video that Stephen wanted 30 million, but he made it sound like he was expecting, 15, 20 maybe. But at the beginning of this, $50 million for 4 years with an option for 2 more years at an additional $25 million. That's good scratch right there. Now, out of this, Stephen would pay for all of his own production of his normal show, which he wants to do the show himself anyway. So that's a decent thing. All control over that stuff comes out of his side. He can still make bank on that. Thank you, Metal Minister. Boring is disingenuous. Ricada covered this last night and agreed 100% with Crowder. Boring ignored everything Crowder was trying to say. I disagree with you on that. Thank you for the donation, but I disagree. I think both of them were being disingenuous. One, again, this is a jumping off point. This is where you get to go through and make your demand. This is what I want. This is what you want. And you try to work it out. And they never even got to that part. According to Boring, if what he said is true, according to him, Crowder just said, nah, fuck this. Send me a whole different thing. This isn't even worth discussing. Send me something else completely. And they went to do it, and then they went, nah, fuck that. We're not doing it. Apparently, we're not gonna be able to meet. The penalties is where Crowder had a big problem. The penalties for if you get in trouble. Starting with if you take a day off, because Jack's here. Jack, you better listen to all this so I don't have to explain it all again. Why are you not coming up? There it is. What the hell? Hi,
Jack.
It took a second after I clicked for you to come in for it to actually bring you in.
Yeah, it does it on my end all the time. Like that's why when you talk to me, I don't always seem to hear you because it takes like a couple seconds. I'll see the boxes start to move and then nothing happens.
Yeah,
they'll kick in.
Yeah, usually though, when I click it, the box pops up on my side immediately. So things happen. Anyway, real quick, how you doing tonight? Yeah, me too.
Sleeping a lot today. My ears been bugging me. I don't know if it's because sometimes my headphones compress on one of my ears and it'll hurt.
Oh yeah,
but I think I'm getting an ear infection.
Oh, sorry to hear that. I hope not. I hope it's just a little irritation.
Well, either way, it's a lot less than what you go through on a regular basis. So
we're talking about the Crowder thing. I don't know if you've been paying attention to this. I know you're not a fan of him, but the intrigue for me in this one is what does it. Because I don't hate the Daily Wire. I enjoy Crowder's show, especially with Dave Landau on there now. But just the brief, real quick thing, Jack. Crowder's leaving the Blaze. Daily Wire made a play for him, and Crowder came out and blasted them without actually blasting them. He never mentioned their names, guys. That's why people had to guess who it was. Oh, the Blaze came out, the Daily Wire came out today and went, yeah, we're the ones who made that offer.
Well, what was his problem? Was it not enough money or something?
Well, he never mentions the money being the problem, not getting enough on the front end. Jeremy Boring, the guy who's representing the Daily Wire, is one of the co-founders of it.
Yeah.
He did a video today, almost hour-long video explaining their side of it. And at the end of this video, he says that the 12.5 mil that they offered him a year wasn't enough, and that Stephen thought he was worth closer to 30 million.
No,
I don't think Crowder's worth 30 million.
No, I hope Crowder doesn't think Crowder's worth 30 million because he's delusional.
Well, in fairness, Tim Pool came out today and said he's worth 8 million a year. That's just what he's getting by himself.
That's a waste.
I'm sorry, not 8 million. He said 8 figures, so at least $10 million.
No, fuck that. First of all, Tim's very arrogant, and I think he's an idiot. But he makes his money, good for him. But yeah, I don't I don't really see offering either one of those guys what they are claiming.
Crowder could make that, but he'd have to have a different business model. Because on subscriptions to Mug Club and the one ad that he does per show, there's no fucking way he's making that on his own right now. There's just not. Do you know how many of those Mug Club? He'd have to have more people subscribe to Mug Club than actually watch his show.
Yeah.
So anyway, he was offered $50 million over 4 years, Jack, with a possibility to make another $25 million over 2 more if everything went well. So a $75 million contract in total, but this was just a non-binding preliminary thing. And he blasts several parts of it, including they only had him working 192 days a year. He breaks down like this: 4 episodes a week and having 4 full weeks off. That's not a bad deal.
No, that's a pretty good deal.
The episodes would have to be an hour and a half long at least, with at least 1 hour on a a platform that's not behind a paywall.
Yeah.
So being like he does right now, actually, like an hour on YouTube, and then you do an hour or half an hour to an hour over on the Blaze. That was the deal they wanted. You do an hour pre-paywall and then at least half an hour behind the paywall.
Call me Blaze. I'll do it for $12 million.
No shit. Fuck, I'll do at least 2 hours for that kind of money.
Yeah, shit. We could both work for that 12 million. Just split the money. I'll take $6 million for that. Yeah, fuck yeah.
You know what, Jack? I'm gonna be nice. I'm only gonna take 5. You can have the other 7.5 million each year.
I'm okay with that. No.
Yeah. You just have to put on one puppet show for me each year without using your penis.
A puppet show? Okay.
Just a puppet show. That's all.
I'll buy a creepy ass puppet that can sit in a box in my house for 10 months out of the year, so I can make an extra $2 million. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Anyway, Jeremy Boring said that they expected Crowder to argue for more money.
Well,
but
yeah.
Crowder looks at this thing and he just throws it away. Like, nah, fuck that. Send me something different. This is so off. I'm not even going to redline it. Scratch things out with a red pen and go, this is what we really want.
Wow.
Now, here are the penalties. Let's talk about them. If he didn't do a show, if he missed his 192 days, if he missed one of those shows, there would be a penalty of $100,000. Now, this is one of the places where Jeremy Boring in his description was entirely disingenuous, because he says, that's not really that bad of a penalty. And on its face, he's right. That's not that bad of a penalty. One show you did not turn in a show, you're docked $100,000. That's not that bad. But there's also part of it in there that says, if you miss any of our ad reads, you lose that same 100. So you could do the full show and you miss one ad read, you get hit with that same $100,000 penalty.
Oof.
Yeah. So he's like, look, as long as you do the show, you're getting paid. I'm like, that's not what your little contract there actually says, though. Very disingenuous on your part. And he skips over it. He really does. When he's reading through it, he skips that part.
That's pretty disingenuous.
It's very disingenuous. What are some of the other ones? Twice a year, he was supposed to do special shows. And this one's really weird. Because depending on the show, one of them was supposed to be entertainment in nature and one would be political in nature. So like he would go and do a political documentary kind of thing and then go to some event. I forget the exact examples, but
that's probably like their New Year's thing or, one of those specials they do.
Well, no, these were specific to just him because that is a whole nother section. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh.
So kind of like Matt Walsh making What is a Woman?
Yeah.
That would be one of the things you do. And then the other one he could have done would be like film one of his stand-up specials that he does with Dave Landau all over the country. Film one of those and put out a comedy show over there on the Daily Wire. Easy enough to do. Buddha, thank you so much for the donation with no message. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to contact my lawyer and see if that's enough, though. I learned that from Crowder. Just saying, just kidding. Thank you so much for that. Now, here's the thing, Jack. The Daily Wire will pay for these. They would give him, in the one instance, up to 1.5 million, and in the other one, up to 2.5 million for producing them. So they're going to pay for him, right?
Okay.
However, if he doesn't make them, he takes $1 million hit on each one.
Oof.
Yeah. That would have been my breaking point. Like, no, fuck you. That's got to go. Yeah, take $1 million hit on each one. I mean, frankly, if he didn't make them, he just saved you $1.5 million, didn't he?
Yeah, at least because production costs too.
Well, no, that covers everything. The 1.5 on the one and then the 2.5 on the other one, that covers the entirety of the production costs, everything.
Oh.
So it's still okay. So you didn't make this thing, which was $2.5 million to produce. So you owe us $1 million.
Does it say how, like time wise, how long each of these have to be?
I want to say he said an hour and a half, but don't quote me on that because I don't remember. I know he said that he gave a kind of a vague time frame. Crowder was also expected to 4 times a year show up there in Tennessee to take promotional pictures and do a little promo professionally cut at the Daily Wire offices.
Okay.
And if he didn't do those, he got some penalty on that one too. I think that one was $100,000. No, that was the $250,000. $250,000 if you didn't show up to do that 4 times a year. Each time, by the way.
Those are probably scheduled too. Like
yeah,
you have to do a Christmas one, you have to do a New Year's one.
They're just quarterly promotional ads that they cut, like a radio station would do with their people.
Pretty standard stuff.
Yep. What was some of the lots of things like if you lost, what was it? Is it half of the sponsors? If you lost them in a boycott, then you would lose 50% of your deal until okay, let me get it right. If you lost them for 90 days and they couldn't get anybody to replace it in that 90 days, then you would start making half of what you were supposed to until they replace that revenue for 90 days.
So it'd be like 180 days you'd lose that money.
Well, no, you'd still only lose it the 90 days plus whatever's in between when the other 90 days stop. So if it goes, say you hit 90 days, right?
Uh-huh.
That's when you start making half. But if on that very day they get that money back, you only go 90 days until it kicks back in. Basically, it covers the 90 days that or whatever amount of time they're out.
I thought it was that 90 days plus an additional 90 days.
No. Because you don't start immediately losing that money. It's after the first 90 days. Okay. So if they got it back on day 89, you don't lose anything.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're going to get boycotted.
Well, yeah, that's part of the problem that the Crowder has. Like, look, we get boycotted. You might as well just tell them, hey, boycott these guys. The problem with that, and this is where Steven was being a little disingenuous, unless you put out your contract negotiations, unless you said, hey, by the way, guys, if you boycott me, I stop making money. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that was the term of your deal.
You should make sure that the deal is kept quiet.
Yeah.
So if you run around blabbing that stuff, yeah.
Looking at it, honestly, what the guy was offering is not that unreasonable. Even with the penalties, guys. I'm sorry, man. You only got to work 192 days a year. You have 4 weeks of vacation built into your 4-day-a-week schedule. Kiss my ass. And by the way, Jack, they also told him, look, you just have to have 192 days. If you work 5 days a week, you can bank shows. You could work with us and we can bank them like, hey, I'm going to take this Tuesday off. I'm going to work all next week. It still evens out to the same amount of days. So good. So it's not like it was like it has to be every 4 days. They were willing to work with it because it would be in their best interest to work with him in that case.
Yeah, well, they're trying to make money too. And that's why you hire talent, is to make money.
And that's the part that Crowder doesn't seem to understand. And this is the part that Boring repeatedly pushed, probably a little bit too much, is that we are making a $50 million investment, $12.5 million every year. We have to be able to get that money back.
Yeah.
One of the things that Crowder didn't like is that all merchandising rights would go over to the Daily Wire through the duration.
Well, he could have negotiated that.
Well, I don't think that's one that they were going to negotiate, and there's good reason for that. They're paying him $10.5 million or $12.5 million. This is how they're going to recover that $12.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
The selling of the subs, the selling of T-shirts, all of this shit is monetized for them because they've already given you a fat ass check. He did say that they called Crowder's lawyer just to, dip their toes in the water. And Crowder's lawyer, again, this is what Boring says. We don't have any actual documents or phone calls or anything, going by what Boring said. They told him, no, we just want to see the money. Send over a contract. Let's look. He's like, well, we want to kind of maybe work out a revenue split. No. How much are you going to pay us? So, I mean, if that's true, that's on Steven for not doing a more revenue split.
Yeah.
Probably in his best interest to do that, because I do not think, unless he turns on super chats and unless he takes a lot more ads himself, no fucking way he's getting that money on his own.
No.
How do you know? How do I know what? This is what Jeremy Boring said. He put out a video a little over probably 2 hours ago now. Thank you, Subearth. Off topic. That says Sally Mayweather. I'll click it, but I'm not changing topic. There's a weird personal part of this, Jack, that pops up where this Jeremy, I don't know Jeremy Boring. I'd never heard his name before today.
Really?
Yeah, really. No idea who the hell he is. But
yeah, he's one of the founders of Daily Wire.
I'm just not that big of a follower of Daily Wire. But this guy took what Crowder said so very personal, repeatedly called him a disingenuous guy. At one time, I thought he was actually going to tear up talking about you. I mean, we've been friends for 10 years. We've been in this together. We've been there for 10 years.
Well, it probably kind of feels stabbed in the back that Crowder would take this public.
Well, the thing is, he didn't exactly take it public. I mean, he did show this document, but it was all blacked out. You couldn't see who it actually was. There were people who guessed, and it was probably the smart guess, given there's not very many people, to quote Ralph, in the sector who could afford Crowder. There's really not. I mean, when people say he's the biggest conservative name on YouTube, that is real. He's got the biggest channel, the biggest reach. Whoever's going to get him is going to have to pay for him. And not many people could even offer him a contract where part of it is $1 million hit.
Yeah.
$100,000 hit, a $250,000 hit. But he didn't actually name them. He didn't actually put it out there.
Well, why did he make the video at all?
Because he said that he thinks that young creators or smaller creators or conservative voices are being taken advantage of by people who make contracts like this. As I said at the beginning of the show, he almost made it sound like, in this case, it'd be the Daily Wire, was like Motown from the 60s. Like, we're just going to steal all the money. Real quick, Donald Camp, thank you for the feminist $12. Hi, Jack. Hi, Monkey. Monkey, I just got a few trees of yours. Oh, teas of yours. I'm not wearing my glasses. I caught it. Jack, I got home tonight, and that backpack is awesome. Well, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you for picking up the merch. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the support, Donald.
Toasted, thank you. Crowder to the Young Turks. Chank, make it happen. I'd actually watch that. All 3 days that it lasted before one of them killed the other. Yeah, this guy got very, very upset about Crowder, and he really didn't like that Crowder said you're doing the dirty work of the social media platforms, because that's one of the big things Crowder said. You're just doing the dirty work of the social media platforms. And in Crowder's defense on this one, part of this little contract was that if you get demonetized, well, Crowder's already demonetized. And it's another one of the places where Mr. Boring was a little bit disingenuous. He goes, well, yeah, he's demonetized, so you just scratch that out with a red pen. You knew he was demonetized. You even tell a story in your little video about how the only time you ever met Susan, it was so that you could complain, or that you did complain, that Crowder was demonetized and how wrong it was, because you had nothing to really say about Daily Wire at that time. So you thought so much of this that you actually talked to Susan about it. It's the only time you've ever talked to her about it. And you thought it would be smart to include in the contract negotiations that you sent over to Crowder that if he gets demonetized, he's going to take a hit.
That's why you have lawyers look over contracts, though.
I mean, it's just so weird.
Yeah, but maybe the lawyer that drafted that didn't know, or
no,
trying to sneak it through. Who knows?
I think it's their standard kind of boilerplate, and they just plugged in his numbers for it.
Probably.
And if you're going to take the hey, we did this specifically for Steven, then that's something you shouldn't have overlooked. And he has every right to look at that and be like, well, obviously they're working with the media companies to try to help silence conservatives, because that's what I would have thought, Jack. You send me a contract that penalizes me for something that's already happening? Really? So I can see why Steven would look at that and go, yeah, they're helping the social media companies. Look, hey, you take Crowder down a notch and I don't have to pay him as much. So anyway, only ones I like from Daily Wire is Michael Knowles and Andrew Clavin. Knowles actually annoys me, and he goes way too hard on the Jesus stuff.
Him and Matt Walsh are a little too Jesus heavy for me, but I like Clavin.
Oh yeah,
funny.
Clavin's funny as shit. The beginning of his videos are usually just amazing.
Yeah, I would hang out with that dude. I bet he's hilarious.
This is such a weird little pissing match they got into that didn't have to happen. And this is another weird part of it that just didn't need brought up. Boring tells the story that, look, we heard that Steven was going to be on the market, and so we reached out. And then he tells us, so this all happened before October. He doesn't, I don't think he told us the exact date, but he goes, but then I tell him, look, this isn't going to work out. No big deal. We'll still be friends. Go back to how life was. No big deal. He says, and then October passes, and November and December. And then last week, Steven called him. And he said he just couldn't get over this contract, specifically the penalties in it, and how he was just doing the bidding of these social media companies. This is shit that didn't have to be made public. This is making it personal. Like, yeah, this is the conversation we had.
I think this whole thing was making it personal. Somebody was going to, I don't think any of this should be aired in public. Just be like, look, I was offered a thing. I turned it down. It just didn't work out. That's all you needed to say on it. He didn't need to. I don't think any of this needed aired out. This seems a little bit. I don't know.
I don't have a problem with it being aired out, honestly. Crowder probably should have been a little bit less hyperbolic about it. Maybe step back from the situation and gone, all right, they have to make money in order to pay me money. Unlike Boring, I'm not going to guess what Crowder was thinking, or if I do, I'll actually look. I'm not in his head. I can understand why some of the things he thought he did think based on looking at the contract. But when Boring came out with his response, it should have just been, hey, we did make this offer. We thought it was a perfectly valid offer. Here's what we offered. This is why. If you're going to do it, just this is why. We do have to make our money back. He shouldn't have made it so personal about Steven. And he repeatedly talks about how much, we were friends. We were friends. And to have a friend do this to you, that's irrelevant. Either the contract makes sense or it doesn't. Either the terms are good or they're not. And he made it so personal, where Crowder specifically didn't mention who it was. Yeah, maybe in hindsight, I didn't think it would be the Daily Wire, Jack, simply because I didn't think that they'd want to be associated with Crowder's brand. Crowder's a little bit more edgy than anybody who's over there on the Daily Wire.
Well, he's got a reasonably sized audience, though.
True. He's got the especially having Landau on the show. Jesus fuck. I can't believe he gets away with some of the shit he does just being on the Blaze. Which is probably what broke them up. They're probably like, get rid of Landau. That's my guess. I have no proof of this. But with Glenn over there, I bet they had a problem with some of the things that he says. We're friends. Maybe Crowder felt the same way about the offer. Yeah, and friendship shouldn't come into it. It really shouldn't. It's not a part of contract negotiations. This is now you want to be fair to your friend, but you should be being fair to everybody. It's not that big of a deal for Steven to have made such a big deal. I'm sure he got much worse offers than that one.
Oh, yeah. I would think so.
And that's the one you went after? I mean, you could make the point about bad offers without having been so specific about it, even, Be like,
yeah.
Hey, when I first got onto YouTube, this is coming to the end of the multi-channel networks. Multi-channel networks, MCNs, man, these were all the rage for a while.
Yeah,
and
I
if you
don't
signed up for
understand that.
one, it was a really, really bad idea. I still remember the first time I got an offer on one, Jack. I wrote back, go fuck yourself.
We're going to take all your money.
Yeah, but that's not what this is. This was a perfectly reasonable business contract that, yes, you could have made some changes to, and $12.5 million a year for the most minimal effort, Jack. Minus that stupid shit, which I would have cut out about the two major things each month or each year at $1 million penalty. Go fuck yourself. I think Daily Wire wanted Crowder subs. Of course they did. Wouldn't you? Shit. If I was at a media company, I don't care what I want Crowder subs.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You want to make that play.
So yeah, it just didn't need to get blown out of proportion like this. And that response, he does a good job of explaining why, but he goes so personal on so much of it that did not need to be mentioned in this video. So there it is. For those of you who've been seeing it going around and wondering what the hell's going on, it's, believe it or not, contract negotiations. Stupid contract negotiations. And Daily Wire's like, yeah, we're not doing it. And this is what I was saying at the beginning, where Crowder hasn't told us why he's leaving the Blaze, which is smart. Just in case. You don't want to burn that bridge. And we don't know, whether or not he burned it in backroom dealings that we'll never know about. But at least publicly, he didn't do anything to embarrass Glenn Beck or the Blaze. He didn't come out there and, just fuck these people. But now that working relationship between him and the Daily Wire, that's just never going to happen.
Yeah, he burned a bridge.
Yeah.
I think that was unnecessary.
Well, and again, I don't think he necessarily, I mean, again, it would have been a back, behind the scenes thing that we never saw. But now it's out there, and with them coming out, they're the ones who really, he might have poured gasoline all over that bridge. They're the ones who threw the match on it.
Well, I think they looked at it as if he's burning a bridge. He's being asked about this. Fuck it. We're never working with him.
Yeah. $30 million though. You're not worth $30 million a year, dude.
No, you're really not.
15 is probably pushing it. That's probably about what you're worth.
Yeah, but he could have negotiated that.
Sure.
Like, he could have negotiated away a lot of those penalties and asked for more money, maybe get 13 or 14 and settle on that. But 30, no. They came at you with $12 million, dude. You are not Brad Pitt in, any major film. Okay, I'm sorry.
Cullen says, at the end of the day, Boring has DW and Crowder has exactly. And that's another point he brought up, is that Crowder has never had to do the back end stuff. They do produce everything in-house, but it goes to somebody else's servers. It goes to somebody else who does advertising. He tweets out that they're doing a show, or maybe a clip here and there. But somebody else handles all the back end stuff and always has for Crowder. He's independent, sure, but he's not independent the way you and I are, Jack, where literally everything is handled by us.
Yeah. Well, we don't have advertisers. So this is a good time to remind everybody to like, share, subscribe, and give us money if you're feeling generous.
Crowder's always had people scrambling to do the back end for him. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if because he did mention in there, maybe I need to start something. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. And maybe it'll give you a good idea of what it's actually like to run all of that back end stuff. That money's not free, man.
No, and it's a lot harder than I think he's thinking it is.
And he said that he could get his people to come over. Again, this is according to Boring, that Crowder told him on day one, 350,000, I think it was, people signing up for subscriptions, which is great. 300,000 people signing up for subscriptions. Awesome. But can you prove it? And Crowder's like, nah, because Crowder doesn't have any of the numbers from what happened at the Blaze. He doesn't even know how many Mug Club subscribers he actually had.
What?
Yeah.
How do you not know that?
Because somebody else always does the back end stuff for him. It's a little bit different when you're the guy in charge. It's whatever, let him try. At least it's not going to be an echo chamber on the right. And look, I wish him well with it. I hope he does, and I hope he makes something successful. But if he goes into it thinking, okay, we're going to turn this on and we're going to be making millions of dollars to where I'm making $30 million a year, he's just wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. This seems like a bunch of needless drama that nobody on either side needed to take out and dump their purse out on everybody's coffee table.
It was weird with all of the personal nature of this one from the Daily Wire there, that at the end he's like, so should you go cancel your? No, I'm not said don't. You should actually go subscribe to Mug Club because we need Crowder. He does great things and we need him in the space. All right, but you just spent an hour trashing the man. Basically call him stupid repeatedly. Business stupid, in fairness.
Well, I mean,
but he is.
Yeah, it does sound like he isn't real business savvy.
Yeah. Steven, I understand how many people you got watching on YouTube, but yeah, you're not worth that. Especially not at the level you are right now. Even as the biggest in the sector, old Ralphie there. It's just not, it's not that. And yeah, this was stupid. This was really dumb because it's probably the best offer he's going to get.
Yeah, it probably was. And again, contract negotiations can go on for months. I mean, they could nickel and dime each other all day long and eventually hammer something out that everybody can live with. A lot of these terms really don't sound that unreasonable to me.
They're not. And Boring does have it. This is something that a lot of people, anytime you talk to people who don't know shit about business, like I deserve this much money, but the business still has to make money. Yeah, I can pay you, but I need to eat too. So yeah, it wasn't that bad of a deal. And the penalties, I mean, frankly, this is what you've been doing. It's what you've been doing. And if you don't like the length of it, so cut it down. I can't commit to do that for the next 4 years. All right, 3. Maybe we'll start at just 2. Fuck it. We'll give it a year trial and see what happens.
Yeah.
And frankly, you're better off taking that 4-year deal though, because if you negotiate down it to 1 and it turns out you're not worth that next one's gonna suck. That's gonna feel like a punch in the gut when they're, oh, by the way, you're actually only worth $2 million.
I think it'll be a little lower than the gut.
So I guess that's the end of that relationship because this got aired publicly. Ugh. Good job.
Yeah, Evil One posted a couple of screenshots of the contract on Twitter, and I'm looking at it now. And yeah, I mean, you could negotiate a lot of this stuff.
Even unnegotiated, like I said, the only thing that would really kill me is no, those 2 things a year. I'm not doing that, especially not with $1 million penalty on them. The flying to Nashville or driving to Nashville 4 times a year, because aren't they down in Texas?
I have no idea where Crowder's located.
I want to say he's in Texas. But go there 4 times a year. You got to hop on a plane, go get your picture taken, read some words somebody wrote for you about how much you should come subscribe to dailywire.com. You'll love it. That's minimal. Fuck it.
Yeah, quarterly? Come on. I would try and get all those done in like 2 days. Like, oh, I got to be there 4 times a year. How about I do it all 4 days in a row? I'll just power through them. I'll put on an ugly sweater, and we'll say that's the Christmas one. Yeah. I don't know.
It's just not that bad of a contract. It really isn't.
Really not. 192 episodes, and you can bank some of the shows. You could do like a special, like, oh, we're exposing the World Economic Forum tonight on Crowder, and then boom, there's an episode right there, and you just shoot a couple of them on a Friday or something, get it over with.
Jeremy, though, made the contract sound great. I imagine they negotiate a ton, given they aren't really fond of Crowder, just trying to absorb the competition. How do you get there not fond of Crowder? I don't know that I've ever heard that, Daily Wire and them. Ben's been on his show many, many times. Did Jeffrey mention the social media part? Yes. And hang on a second. I have a donation that I got to grab that I hit the wrong button on. The social media part is another one that Crowder had an issue with, but we'll get to that. I'm glad you brought that up. Keldrick, thank you. Maybe Boring was Crowder's secret lover, and this keeps them apart. Maybe. Email list ownership, all social media, and all merch in perpetual slimy. No, not all social media. His personal social media was still his. Any social media that they made, like he used the example with What is a Woman? So Matt went out there and promoted it on his own website or on his own Twitter, but they also made a What is a Woman Twitter website that is owned by Daily Wire. And they will always own it because that is their property. Now the email list, again, same thing. Not very few things in this contract were in perpetuity.
Perpetuity, yeah.
Perpetuity. Mostly it was only anything that was specifically made for the Daily Wire. So like if he made the 2 different specials each year, that would still belong to them because they paid for them, that they produced them. It's the same way that kind of stuff happens anywhere. Just because he's the actor in it or the personality in it doesn't mean he has ownership rights of it. If he paid for it, he has ownership rights of it. For instance,
they're trying to get extra content.
Yeah. When he comes over, if he would have come over, when he came over to the Daily Wire, his entire back catalog would have went into their catalog until his contract was up when it would come out. But they would have it during that time. His personal social media, his personal Instagram, those were both going to remain his. But anything else is, theirs. I mean, because it'd be made at that time. And again, it's something that they could have negotiated. If he didn't want them managing the email list for him, then fuck it, we want to do that ourselves. The only thing is, then there would probably have to be some kind of measurement by which they're proving that they're working on the email list enough. So, yeah. What is a Woman is boring as fuck. I enjoyed it, actually.
I still haven't watched the whole thing. I find Matt Walsh to be obnoxious.
I swear you guys are butt licking contract juice. It's blatantly obvious. Well, what part of it do you think is so outrageous? Give me a specific, Donald, not just the contract or the penalty. What specific one? Because I do think if you miss one ad read in a show and you lose the full $100,000 for that, that's wrong. I think
probably, but it depends how much money they make off those ads, because that might be what they're charging people to put ads on there, and you're just compensating them for. Because buddy of mine used to have to go to movie theaters and before the movies start, watch all the ads to make sure the ones that were being paid for are there.
Oh,
yeah. That's a real job. It's like a part-time job, but you get to stay and watch a movie for free. Pretty awesome, actually. And there was a lot of money on the line, so they had enough money to hire somebody to make sure those ads were there, because they would lose their ass if they didn't. So that is a big deal, especially with major corporations. Like the Daily Wire is a fairly large company, so I could see why they would be very upset if you didn't read an ad you were supposed to.
Well, that's another thing that Crowder said. We're only going to do the one sponsor per thing, because otherwise that turns you into the consumer. I forget the way he said it, but we're not going to read ads basically because it's not good for you guys, the viewers, which is fine. Have that noble idea in your head, but if you want to get paid, ads have to be done.
Yeah. And if you look at it, they do stagger the ads. You get like 2 at the beginning of the show after the little intro thing, and then you get another one later on, and then I think they do 5 or 6 ads total per hour, which eats up a lot of time, honestly, because I mean, that's like 5 or 6 minutes of your show, so that's less content you have to produce. So I don't think I would ever purposely miss an ad.
Thank you, Raul said the viewer's product, not the show. Thank you. That's how he said it. You could probably negotiate how many ad reads have to be done per hour. Hell, you might get them down to 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm sure you could negotiate that. Again, this all comes down to the negotiations. How long did they sit at the negotiation table and discuss any of this stuff?
Not at all. None of this was discussed.
Well, then I really don't understand what he's bitching about, because that's the whole thing. Is they're going to present something that's, of course, a little more favorable to them, probably a lot more favorable, and it's your job to go through and be like, "No, I don't like this, so let's change this," and try and negotiate with them for the best deal for you, and then you end up compromising.
Most of Crowder's audience probably doesn't prefer he gets with the Daily Wire. Candace has changed quite a lot since joining them, and her own side projects are effectively over. I haven't really heard anybody talk about Candace in a while. Candace is usually only any good when she's getting controversy, and she hasn't been able to drum any up recently.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. It just seems like this was a whole lot of stuff that didn't need to be aired out.
Yeah, and if he was trying to play hardball with them and try to take it kind of public without actually doing it, that was a really bad idea.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea in contract negotiation.
I don't know that that's what he was doing. But if he was, yeah, you just burned that bridge completely.
Yeah, man. If you're in contract negotiations, this is a terrible way to do it. But if you didn't want the contract, I don't know. This seems like a whole lot of like dumping your purse out on someone else's coffee table.
Faithless says, I do not think he was doing that. I honest to God don't know. I don't, because you could have had the same discussion he had without showing that contract. He could have even, referenced parts of it. Like one company I talked to wanted me to take $100,000 hit if I missed a day of work. He did not actually have to show the contract itself. It's not like you're going to have a hard time getting people to believe that there's predatory contracts out there, Jack.
Yeah.
There's tons of them all over the place. If somebody offers you a contract on anything, make sure you get a fucking lawyer to look at it first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know. This seems like a lot of childishness on both sides to me. Because he could have tried to negotiate with them, and maybe Jeremy Boring's taking this a bit too personal. I don't know, man. I don't think this was healthy for either side.
They spit in his face with those penalties. No, they didn't.
No, that's pretty normal in broadcasting stuff. There's always penalties for fucking up in broadcasting.
He was more concerned with how predatory in nature it was and how much it falls in league with big tech. Like I said, I understand his big tech part of it with the stipulation in there if you get demonetized when he already is.
Yeah,
so I get that.
He could have his lawyer tell him to take that bit out.
But again, yeah, and if what Boring told us, he didn't even bother trying to negotiate any of this. Just no, send me a better offer. All right, that's how you want to play it, but you're not going to get one.
Yeah, I think Crowder estimating his worth at $30 million is really ridiculous, though.
The other thing with the Daily Wire, this is just coincidental. Right now, going around, there's a lot of people making fun of the fact that Gina Carano's movie, what was it? Something on the Prairie.
Terror on the Prairie.
Terror on the Prairie. It only made $804 in theaters. Ha ha ha.
They only showed it in like 2 theaters, didn't they?
They showed it in 1 theater one time.
Well, then what the fuck are they complaining about?
Oh, they're just trying to
just the concessions.
They're just trying to take a swipe at it.
That's lame. I heard
it really is. Heavy. But I did see in relation to that some interesting critiques that I had not thought of yet. Do you realize every Daily Wire movie that they've made so far, a fictional movie, features a female protagonist?
Yeah. Yeah. Run, Hide, Fight, Terror on the Prairie, and what's the other one?
I forget the name of it, but it's the horror movie that they made.
Yeah.
They're all female led, and they're starting to get some pushback from Daily Wire fans who are like, excuse me, why are you pushing that? Why is every protagonist a woman? Why is every guy basically useless? In the Terror on the Prairie movies, like, how come all the guys have stormtrooper aim?
Well, it is a movie. The one in Run, Hide, Fight, the guys aren't completely useless, from my understanding. I know I saw it, I just don't remember it. But it had Thomas Jane in it.
Yeah, it was her dad, right? So he's in the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
But they are really doing the same thing that, everything else is just all women all the time.
Oh, one of their movies had Carrie Elwes, the guy from Princess Bride, in the lead.
What movie?
I don't know. Dark Admiral Marchhair just said it.
Huh. I'm not familiar with that one. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe all but one.
Well, they're still kind of new at this. So I don't know. Maybe it's just like, the scripts they're getting or something. Because most of Hollywood is going on this rah-rah girl power crap. Oh, the Hyperions? That's the superhero one, isn't it?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be really good. I only caught like 10 minutes of it. It looked pretty fun. That's probably the one. It's probably the Hyperions.
Capes and Powers. It's not a superhero movie. It's a movie about family and friends and how power corrupts and distorts.
With superheroes.
With superheroes. All right.
Oh, hey, we just apparently we're beating Rekieta Law to the punch because he's going to respond to Crowder next.
Well, somebody said he went over it yesterday
Oh,
and was on Crowder's side on it. I'm interested to see what he'll say when he reads the whole thing. Because Crowder didn't put the whole thing out there. He only had a couple of clips here and there. And again, I don't remember, and I did tell people this, Jack, just a reminder. I didn't watch all of Crowder's video. I watched about half of it before I got bored with it. I don't think he said the dollar amount, which does change that a lot.
yeah.
If you're only making $3 million and you got this $100,000 hit coming if you miss a day, yeah, that's
that's
pretty
much
fucked
different.
up. But 12 and a half and 100,000, yeah. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Crowder, time to talk. Time to talk money. Shapiro, beanie glows. Yeah, there were several people when people were still trying to figure out who this was. Like, come on, we all know who it is, but we can't say because of the religion. Like, I don't think that's what this has to do with. Anyhow, so there's that drama, Jack. I do find it interesting though that Crowder's considering doing his own. Go for it, dude. There's plenty of people who will help you out, get it all set up. Plenty of people who would like to be a part of it and get their little fingers in it. Just be careful of that.
Yeah.
There's lots of people who can help you start this stuff, but it's actual work. It's not just turning on the camera and going. If you want to do that, then just take donations. Take donations and get sponsors. You don't have to set up a whole network. You really don't. In fact, you probably shouldn't as you're starting out if this is what you're going to do. Certainly, name it the Louder with Crowder network or whatever as you're starting out. But before you even think of taking somebody else on, make sure you can do it yourself, by yourself. Because so far, you've never done that. You've always had other people involved. So until you can handle that back end, don't offer it to somebody else.
Yeah, legit makes a good point. I'd like to see the contracts of the guys that work with Crowder.
That would be interesting.
Compare them.
I'm sure they're allowed as many days off anytime they want. Right? Thank you, Ebony. Funny story about my dad. I bought him and my mom Sprite, and he got upset about the new clear bottle. He thought it was Diet Sprite. I told him it was just a new design.
I've heard a couple people say that actually. They're like, "Oh, I thought this was the diet crap," because Diet Sprite's gross.
It really is. Didn't Sprite used to be in a white bottle before it was in green?
In the glass bottles, I think they were white for a while, but the green bottles were always better.
Understatement said this didn't have to be drama. It didn't. Yeah, and you know what? Absolutely. It still wouldn't have been if Boring had just come out and done it without being so personal about it. Yeah, look, given as soon as you announced this that some of the things that he said, like you're working to do big tech's dirty business for him. I mean, that's a little bit faithless. I meant clear. Sorry.
That's below the belt, man.
It is. It really is. But you could have just blown past that and left it at that. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I loved his reasoning, though, Jack. The reason I didn't even touch on this. The reason that they came out and admitted it was them. Are you ready for this? Some of our fans have been out there saying it definitely wouldn't be us. And what happens if a month or 3 months from now it comes out and it really was us? And then you guys would be like, how come you let us be out there saying it wasn't you? That's it.
That's bullshit. He got bad because Crowder took some cheap shots at him.
Yep. They're bullshit. Shut up.
Yeah, he probably took that kind of personally when Crowder said that and was like, all right, fuck you then.
Eugene says, I bet Crowder's dad is his lawyer. Well, that's another part that this is all speculative. I am not a fan of, what do they call him, Crawdaddy. That guy, there's just something about him I don't like. And I could see him being involved in it. Like, no, son, you deserve a lot more than that. They can give you more money than that. He's a Jew. He's got plenty of it.
Well, that's what contract negotiations are.
Right?
Don't have to sign the contract they stick in front of you. You can mark it up and say, I would like these changes, and then work your way from there. Uh, I think this was very preemptive on Steven's part.
Does Crowder no longer have the half Asian guy? As far as I know, half Asian Bill still works for him, but he's gone back into more just doing law practice rather than like showing up on the show or anything.
Probably makes more money being a lawyer.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still working with him or not. He hasn't said his name in a little while, but I also don't catch very many episodes. May not be that kind of a lawyer. I don't know what Bill Richmond's specialty is, honestly.
No,
Last I knew, they were suing YouTube and Twitter.
Yeah, you want to get, like, he's big enough. He should have some sort of contract attorney that he can talk to, somebody that does entertainment law. Just because at some point you're probably gonna get sued for something, so you want an entertainment lawyer on there.
I don't know who Crowder's manager is, but that's who Boring said he spoke to originally. And that's, like, we want to talk to him, and he's like, no, just send us the money figures. It wasn't Crowder himself who said that. It was his agent, according to Boring. That could be his dad. I honestly don't know, but there's something about Dad Crowder that it rubs me the right way or the wrong way.
Yeah.
What's up, BX Beast Boy?
Hey, Beast Boy. Gordon makes a good point. Whatever happened with Not Gay Jared?
I don't know the story. He ended up leaving when the Blaze took over, if I remember right.
Yeah, because like him and Quarter Black Garrett, was that the guy's name?
Mm-hmm.
They both left around the same time.
No. Quite different.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Quarter Black Garrett just left like last year. And he still he still comes onto the show from time to time. He fills in as a second chair occasionally. And sometimes he's there when all of them are. Jared left when his girl got pregnant. Wait, that's a bad time to leave a job.
Yeah.
What is he, Hunter?
Quarter Black 1/4 replaced Not Gay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not. No, didn't Quarter Black replace? Oh no, you're right. Who was the guy that sat next to him? The guy who went off. He's actually a really good musician. He got a chance to go work in his actual field, so he left.
Oh,
but yeah, Quarter Black Garrett, he just went out on his own. And yeah, he's still. As far as I know, they're all still good friends and stuff.
Real quick, thank you, Keldrick. Something about Crowder's father, he just rubs me the right way. Monkey's hair, January 2023.
Sometimes it takes over. Lauren Chen was very fresh, but then she signed with the Blaze. I think Lauren made a bad deal signing that. I hope she got paid well for it.
Yeah.
But she was never the regular content kind of person.
I think the mistake there was having that really boring guy, her husband or whatever, on, because that dude really kind of killed it for me. I'm like, dude, this guy is boring. He has the excitement level of a turtle napping.
If you go back to like when roaming first blows up, real quick, Ty, thank you. Do you like Spain isn't a world? Do you like that Spain isn't a world power anymore? I don't really think about it, to be honest with you.
I don't think about Spain if I don't have to.
If you go back to when she blew up as roaming millennial, when the whole video with Lacey Green came out, she only had a dozen or so videos at the time. And she was never a regular uploader. It's not like she was somebody who made content daily or even weekly. She made it when she was inspired to do so. And if you're only doing it then, and then you get pushed into a position where you have to make content on a specific um schedule, whether it's weekly, even monthly, man, like, oh fuck, I gotta do this thing. It's not the same as if I want to do this. I have to get out there and make a video. I want to put out a video for people. And when it's like I have to do this because if not, they're gonna sue me and take all my money, it's a whole big different thing.
Yeah. Uh I don't know. I think she was a little too unprepared for the commitment level that it ended up becoming. And then she got the boring guy on there.
See, it wasn't even him for me, even before he was ever on the show, and then after he's gone, because he's not on it now, and it just no offense to Lauren, I love the girl, she's a sweetheart, but it seems forced. It just seems forced. So, Crowder split with Owen Benjamin when he came out as a moon landing denier and flat earther. Is that real?
I mean, I could believe that.
Do you guys know who Michael Savage is? Yeah, I know who Michael Savage is.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone mention him in a long time. Does he even do a show anymore?
I want to say yes.
Huh.
Do you like Peter Zehan? I think so. I said views on global systems. I am unfamiliar. Owen did go nuts. I remember he was talked about there for a while, and it was when he was losing his fucking mind. I just never really paid attention to him. I just remember a lot of that stuff blowing up, and every so often his name coming up because he did something stupid again. But I couldn't tell you any of those specific examples, Jack.
Yeah.
It wasn't my cup of drama tea. I like a more Earl Grey variety. Are there varieties of drama tea?
Probably.
I mean, some of it's obviously lumpy, so it's that bola tea, right? See what I did there?
Yeah.
Anyhow, I wasn't even planning on talking about this tonight. It's just that video blew up right before, or came out. I don't want to say blew up. I don't know how much it's been viewed yet, but came out an hour before the show, and I was watching. I'm like, I cannot believe what I'm watching here. You know, everybody makes fun of the left for eating their own, and they absolutely do. But the right does it too. I've said this going all the way back to the Milo Yiannopoulos days, man. The right does not like anybody succeeding. If you have a successful person, there will be a chorus that starts to mount of people who just want to see them fail over sometimes the most mundane, stupid shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of being like, we can all rise together, like, no, fuck that guy and fuck that guy. I promise you guys, if I say fuck somebody, it's not because I don't want to see them succeed. I don't give a shit if they succeed. I just think they're shitheads. I
Well,
hope they
yeah.
succeed.
I,
I
I
want,
like I like watching people succeed, unless they're like kid diddlers or something.
yeah. There's
But
very few people that I'm like, oh, that person, I want them to fail at what they do. But it seems so egotistical within the right wing sphere of
well,
these people.
it's usually what it is. It's people's egos getting in the way. You get somebody like Bill Crystal from National Review. That
Oh,
guy's a
God.
total a rhino piece of shit, but he will go savagely after anyone he sees as doing successful.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of those, especially rhinos, that don't want people to succeed. They get jealous or uh, bitter, maybe both. I don't know. They're like little old ladies. Like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like him having that.
I've said since we saw it with Milo, because that stuff had been out there. It'd been out there for a long time. And it wasn't until the right decided that Milo needed to go because he was going to be, was he headlining CPAC or just showing up at CPAC that year? I think headlining.
Yeah.
And like, oh, hell no. Fuck that. This little gay man has to go away now. He's too popular in here. And so he had to go bye-bye. And they do this all the time to each other. And that was one of the more extreme views of it. But it's amazing watching them tear each other apart. Thank you, Rodline. The Earth is flat. It is 71% uncarbonated water. I don't think it's technically flat if it's uncarbonated.
Yeah, because you can't drink it and expect shiny little bubbles then. So I guess from that perspective.
I suppose so. But it was never carbonated, so.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know
True.
what was happening at the top of the terrarium.
There is a lot of carbon in there. I'm just
True.
saying.
They're trying to take more carbon out, so they want to make it flatter.
I know too little about American history to debunk it. That's fair. Mark Dice is still on YouTube. He did a video about Brian Stelter at Davos.
Was
I close this time?
Closer.
Davos. Sorry, that's how we say it in Michigan. Today, fair enough.
The family.
Most of the carbon comes from the oceans.
Real quickly, thank you, Travis Gardner. There's a radio show called Malarkey, Van Camp, and Robbins, and it's like a watered down YouTube, but I like them. Oh, well, we swear a lot. We say poop and make penis jokes, so we're more fun. But yeah, cool. I've never heard of them.
Nuts, thanks for dropping the links. Guys, we are brought to you by you. Hit the like button, the share button. If you would, donate to Jack or myself. Link is at the top of your chat and going through your chat. See, sometimes you got to do commercials, Jack.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you're smart, you schedule them in between story breaks like that. Like when you get a minute, like, okay, all right, we've wrapped up this story. We're about to move on to this thing. Let's do an ad break right there. That's how you do it. That's called professionalism. I don't wait till Monkey's in the middle of reading a sentence and I'm like, by the way, gives us money and buy a pillow. That'd be rude.
We should totally sell pillows.
Yeah, talk to Mike Lindell. I'll promote a pillow code every fucking show.
Oh my, I cannot believe I missed that. Was that live?
What?
Shroom, thank you so very much. No, that was off the air. Very generous donation for Little Butts fundraiser.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Thank you. She will enjoy that. Thank you, Travis Gardner. The ocean has saltwater, meat, and vegetables, so the ocean is soup.
That's a good point.
At one point, wasn't it the primordial soup? Isn't that where we crawled out of?
Yeah, it was primordial soup before it became carbonated. Then it was a carbonated beverage. And that's what killed the dinosaurs, was all the caffeine.
And Shroom, I am so sorry. I typically look for the first one in the hours that we're on, and sorry, I almost missed that. All right, Jack. Conservatives, stop trying to tear each other down. I get it. You're not the liberals who are pansies, so they just want to be following, and y'all want your own leader. But it's okay for everybody to succeed. And if you don't like somebody says, by all means, say so. There's nothing wrong with that. But far too often, it doesn't come off as though it's, I disagree with what this guy says. It's like, I hate that fucker. He needs to die. I can prove it, Jack. Just one night out of nowhere, I'm going to come up and go, you know, guys, I really like Steven Crowder. And then the next night, I really like Ben Shapiro. And just watch the chat. You'll have people, I hate that fucker. Which one? But anyway, you don't have to be that way. It's okay. It's okay to like things that you like and let other people like things they like. All right, Jack, this is probably the dumbest news I saw today, but it is absolutely news. Donald Trump may be coming back to Twitter.
Why don't you just say slow news day?
Seriously, this hit like every major newspaper. Donald Trump is coming back to Twitter. Guys, let me explain. He is not coming back to Twitter because, I just miss my Twitter so much. It's for the election. It's specifically for the election. He's trying to get Facebook to overturn their ban on him, which they put a 2-year ban on him, and it comes up. every couple of months after that, I think is what it said. And it came up on January 7th was the day that he had been kicked off. So it's just past the 2-year mark. And if he gets turned down, he can try again, I guess. But it's all for the election. It's not because Donald Trump really wants to make Facebook videos.
Yeah, no, and honestly, because he is running for president, Facebook should let him on the platform.
I saw this because Jeremy put out a video about Donald Trump coming back to Twitter. And I was like, I can't fault the guy for hitting the big stories. I really can't. If you're gonna try to make sure you hit on all the big ones that are going to get somebody to click on your thing, Donald Trump coming back to Twitter, people are going to click on that. I didn't, Jack. I went and looked it up because I wanted to see what the actual story was. Because I think his tweet said, some people are saying this. Like, what people? By the way, these sources in the article, none of them speak on the record.
No, of course not.
No. A source familiar with Trump and a couple of people who know Trump said he's been looking into it, and people familiar with the campaign say they're looking into. There's nothing definitive. It's not clickbait. It's really not. Be fair, legit low talker. This one's not clickbait. It's just.
I think that was just a broad, all-encompassing statement.
Fair enough, but I couldn't believe this is news. I mean, of course it is in today's world because Twitter itself literally is half the news these days. The fucking reporters, they just go find a tweet and write about it. Because of course. Oh, so yeah, that's a big story blowing up, you guys. I hope y'all are prepared for the impact of Donald Trump being on Twitter again. I
got some popcorn.
I think Elon's funnier than he ever was, honestly.
Yeah, but it's not Trump that's needs to be the funny one. It's all the spastics that'll overinterpret anything he says because they're crazy.
I guess that's fair too, but I mean they have pushed that onto their take on Elon, so we'll just have more entertainment going around, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. The selection season's gonna be nuts.
You know it's not nuts?
Stargazer? She's nuts.
No, the genitals in this former man's pants.
Oh.
People are really out here saying that trans Chuchi is the inferior product.
Did that person say Chuchi?
Chuchi.
What's Chuchi? Does she mean coochie?
I think they did, and they just they're so new to the concept that they said it wrong.
Wow. Okay.
Chuchi.
I'm sorry.
That's where you put your choo-choo for the train. Oh, wait, this isn't that police department. Never mind.
We have the designer, expensive, bougie coochie.
Boozy coochie.
She said coochie there.
Yeah, that's why I think the first one was a mistake. We have the designer Gucci coochie.
Like, you're telling me if someone says, would you like this free paper bag that came with my groceries, or would you like this $35,000 bag? You're taking the designer Birkin, babe. Like,
not if it's going to close up on its own and stink. I'll take the paper bag every time. Just saying.
Seriously, you're just mad because trans girls don't want to put trash like you in our designer bags.
So that happened. Bitch has a knockoff brand. Yeah. Her Gucci starts with a C, and she bought it on a street corner in New York. Oh, God. Look.
Wow.
I've seen those things quite accidentally. the Christian Science monitor really needs to separate things a little bit better.
Yeah.
They don't even look real. I'm sorry. They don't. If you've seen a vagina, yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes, and some of them are scary looking. But then you see the manufactured ones, the designer chuchi that this chick apparently has. It looks like something went wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is Kyle. We don't want a fucking axe wound. Not sorry. True.
Yeah. I think this person has never seen a real vagina because this is some weird self-justification stuff. I don't know what's going on here.
You know what a vagina shouldn't have, Jack?
Um,
A penis head at the top.
oh yeah, that's kind of a given, isn't it?
Well, you would think so, but apparently that's how the designer ones are made.
What?
Have you never seen that? Oh God.
I haven't looked all the way inside one. No, I.
Oh no.
Kind of quit ahead of time.
I've done my research on these kind of things. I've seen both of the manufactured genitals. You guys should look them up. You really should. They are disturbing.
You gotta dilate, yo. Or exactly, Pete. Yeah, teeth and shit stink probably shouldn't be in there either.
The idea, look, I get it. You're trying to be edgy on the internet. But you have to actually put something in there on a regular basis or it will close up because it's not natural. You know what a natural vagina doesn't do?
Seal itself like a
Seal
wound?
itself. Yeah. Doesn't happen because it's made that way. And I've never seen one in person, Jack, but I have heard horror stories. And I'm not talking from people who've been with them, from transsexuals who are like, yeah, sometimes it really stinks. Like, yeah, because you have a giant pocket man-made in your body that you can't clean out properly. It's not like the real vagina that naturally cleanses.
Well, and it seems like there's a whole lot of things that go wrong with these surgeries.
Oh God, yeah, that's the underneath the water part of the iceberg there. They never talk about that shit.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's see. Oh well, fuck it. I don't think we've watched this one, but we have seen this idiot before. I remember their face. And they were talking about a very similar subject, but this time they decided to do it again. This time they're going to get manly about it.
To advocate for how difficult it is to use gender-neutral pronouns.
Why are you trying to look like an anime? Not just in the look. No, watch the way that they move their head and stuff through this.
Yeah. Yeah. This kid's watched way too many cartoons.
Nobody said that the gender binary was easy. These are not my preferred pronouns. These are my pronouns.
Oh, you're so serious and scary. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared of the mean little girl. Oh my gosh, she's like 90 pounds soaking wet. When's the patriarchy coming back? I miss it.
Can I just point out that one of their pronouns is the possessive form of their?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a good point.
You just skipped all of English class, I guess.
Well, that they don't, do they even teach that anymore? Isn't it just this gender weirdo shit? It seems because all these people are fucking idiots.
All right. I mean, I guess.
You will use them.
For those of you who don't understand that should be THEY''ER.
They are.
Yeah. Not there as in their cookbook, their psychosis.
It's just so frustrating. Like these people, they have way too much power. Okay. The smug attitude this kid has, if she did this to somebody in real life, there's a good chance she's getting punched in the fucking face. I mean, look at the boldness with which she is stating this. You will use them.
How do you, okay, I guess there's ways that you could, if I say there, right? But when I use it as a pronoun for you, I actually say THERE. How do you know that? Be careful with your theirs, because the little midget who's trying to be in an anime might get you.
I'm with Modern Renaissance, man. Walk that chick near an MRI machine.
Oh, Modern Renaissance is in the chat. What's up, my friend? I was watching you the other day. Somebody had told me this, but I hadn't checked you out yet. I was watching several of your reaction videos, because the reaction videos that I like so much, he does a lot of those.
Yeah.
And fuck, what song was it? There was a song I was watching do one on, and I meant to reach out to you because I really enjoyed that one. I forget what one it was. So since I forget, guys, just go watch all of his stuff.
Yeah, he's got a good channel. Lots
He
of
really
good
does.
material there.
And he also does a lot of stuff that's not the review, because those of you, Monkey talks about reviews all the time. Shut up. I just happen to like him. But he does a lot of other stuff as well. He streams almost as much as we do, Jack.
Which is pretty impressive, since we basically have no lives.
Or you will not refer to me.
What's with the half fake British accent in there? Do you
I
hear
think
when
she has like she's trying to hide like a Bostonian accent or something.
Ugh.
She's got a slight accent, I noticed. It sounds very East Coast, maybe Jersey, but she's trying to hide that. Probably had some speech lessons somewhere along the line.
It's so bad. Hey, Ty, you want to hang out? Let me know. I'll toss you a link, bud.
Use them, or you will not refer to me. At all.
I
If you misgender me by mistake, fix it and move on. I don't need your elaborate apology.
Well, good. I wasn't going to give you one.
She just told us that we were not going to do it.
Well, I kind of want to misgender her on purpose now.
Absolutely, 100%. People like this make me want to do it.
Yeah. Also makes me want to carry around a pair of pliers for when she inevitably tries to slap me and I need to rip some of that face jewelry out.
She has the weirdest one I've ever seen, because she's got the stud that goes through here, but then she's got a little half moon that beats against her front teeth. And as I was watching this, all I kept thinking is it's going to be funny as shit when that knocks her teeth out.
Yeah, you're going to have dental problems. These people need a lot of help, because for some reason we've allowed this triviality nonsense to go on way too long.
I don't care how many times you say sorry. Just
I'm not going to say sorry.
Don't do it again. Moreover, if someone else misgenders me, it is never your job to tell them that it's okay.
If any of you
not my job, it's my pleasure.
Exactly. If any of you misgender her, it's okay.
Because it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
I get it. The discussion of the gender spectrum confuses you, and that's fine. But if you don't know anything about it, don't fucking speak on it.
It's actually not that difficult. It's really not. Still have, I have it somewhere, Ty. Give me a minute. Let me finish with crazy bitch here real fast. There's nothing difficult about the gender binary discussion. It's just insane is all. And by the way, I like Pokemon too. You don't look like Misty. Stop it, please. You look dumb, and you're making her seem dumber than she was on the show.
Is that what she's supposed to be?
That's the look, yeah. She looks like Misty from Pokemon. But I mean, it is a common anime kind of look. So maybe it's a different one.
These people have ruined anime forever for me. I don't like them. They look smelly.
Do you think it's a coincidence that so many of them are part of that whole thing?
I don't know. I think these are they kind of latch on crowd. They're like leeches. They'll latch onto a movement until it's dead and then go to another one. 20 years ago, they'd have been emos. We've seen them latch onto like comics and Dungeons and Dragons, stuff like that. They're just parasites.
Ty, check your email. You should have that, bud.
They're just bad people.
I'm tired of seeing them. And I'm tired of them being so, look how unique I am. Because she's obviously going, I'm trying to look so different, but now you have to do everything I tell you to do. Everybody has to act the same way. They're unique conformists.
Yeah,
and
they're so quirky and unique in their individuality uniforms.
And it's been this way with teenagers who are trying to be different from the beginning of time. The only difference is now, for some reason, we're actually treating them like they are worth listening to.
And they never were.
No. 20 years ago, this chick has jet black hair and is cutting herself superficially because you don't know what her pain is like.
Yeah, and she's writing shitty poetry.
Ty, my friend, it's been too long. How you been, bud?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to tell you this while you were actually here. I absolutely love your fucking reaction videos, dude. You need to make more of those because that is my jam, dude. I fucking love reaction videos.
Yeah, I've been killing it with that a little bit. I started off doing a whole lot of other stuff, but that was all part of it, man. It's really, really interesting. I love it because the fact that, I didn't grow up around hearing that type of music that I'm reacting to on there. So, yeah, it's been a nice little journey there, man. It's legit. Like, that stuff was just blowing my freaking mind, man. I'm talking to the extent to where it opened up. I mean, some of the people on there, like I got to hook up with Up Church. Gosh, I can't think of the other person's name. A few people on there that actually saw me react to their videos. Hellstorm. Yeah, Hellstorm. She is a beast. But because of that, I got that, hang out with some of those celebs. I got a list of all the ones I hung out with, and because they all saw me react to their music. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool. It's really, really fascinating, especially if you came from the world that I came from. And
let me grab this real quick. Kyle, thank you. They latch onto something and make it their whole identity. They'll move on to something else that is considered niche, but becoming mainstream. Oh, yeah, I'm different. Yeah, they're fucking idiots.
Bruh, man, check this out. I love this, and the reason is because those people only have a safe space on the internet.
Yes,
that's it. They don't get that out in the real world. You know how many speaking engagements I have gone on, and they would be outside these speaking engagements with their signs and with blah 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 blah. None of them ever once came and approached me. They know what I do on the internet. Never. I would, and not only that, I never call them by their pronouns. I dare, man, come. Where I come, I dare you to come and ask me to call you anything, and I'm not. They're only safe with that nonsense. They are only safe on the internet, where the internet can say, "Oh, you use some hate speech. Oh, you did this. Oh, you did that." But in the real world, I happen to see them out and about. What's up, girl? Don't you shut up, dude? I'm telling you, that's that. I love it though, because when it all comes down to it, I told them, and I'm being honest with them. I let them know, you guys brought this upon yourselves, because guess what? Nobody cared what y'all were doing when y'all were doing it. You are the ones that so-called came out and told everybody in the whole world what your lifestyle was about. So even if there are individuals out there that do not like you guys for what y'all do, you put that target on y'all back. Nobody that's straight or like me, married, we don't go around professing to the whole world all the time. I just want to let y'all know I'm married, been married 5 years, and my pronouns are straight, loving my wife. And nobody cares because we too busy living our lives. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so I let them
jobs and grown-up stuff to do.
Yes. So I let them know, you guys, the so-called hatred that you guys say that you guys are receiving, that is a result of you guys going out and putting this stuff all out there on the internet for the whole world to see you and judge you of that. Otherwise, if you just living your life, doing your thing on your own, nobody would care. But that's the issue.
Well,
they want the attention.
This is part of the issue with that whole argument of what we just saw. It's like, you will respect my pronoun. Bitch, if I'm using pronouns correctly, you shouldn't hear me call you a she, because I'm not going to look at you and go, she looks very nice today. I would say that about you to somebody else. It's just you being so goddamn self-involved that you have to tell me what I'm allowed to say when you're not even around.
Well, if you knew how special and traumatized they were, Monkey, you would do exactly as they command it, because you're just a monster otherwise.
Man,
Dad did hug me.
yes, and you know what? And what's interesting is that when we do, and I'm like literally when we're there at these engagements, we literally are speaking on what's going on with them, and I let them know. I say, somebody like me, I really do care about y'all. I mean, I care about y'all to the extent to where I'm telling you guys, don't whatever it is that you do, however it is that you decide and identify, you just don't tell the whole world that live your life, do your thing, do it. That's it. Nobody has to see you or anything. Do it. Nobody. You want to know why they don't like that? Because nobody cares. That's the whole point. They want somebody to care. That's why they all look at me. I just want you to know my pronouns are da 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 da. Oh no, we never cared. We never cared, dude. So what I tell them, I said, you know what? My concern with you guys now, although in my belief, I'm a man and a woman. The puzzles fit, but anybody want to live the way they do, that's fine. But what I tell them is this. I said, my concern is although you guys still get everything that you want, y'all have the government backing y'all up, y'all got society, this agenda, y'all got everything backing y'all up, y'all able to take a kid who don't even know that they're even a human being yet can go and get themselves chemically castrated and get themselves mutilated, get all this stuff done. Y'all are getting everything y'all want, but yet at the same time, y'all suicide numbers are increasing. So I told them, so in the end, I'm worried about y'all to the extent to where you guys are getting everything you want, and yet y'all still are deleting yourselves.
The bigger issue there, and this is what me and Jack have talked about so many times, and why this issue does matter to me is because I do care. Not about this crazy little chick telling me I have to call her there. Seriously, ladies, learn to spell before you tell me how to use words. Because of this stuff that we've seen, they've actually changed medical science. They've actually decided that dysphoria is not even a real problem, you see. It's nothing to worry about because all we got to do is pretend it doesn't exist. So the people who actually are dealing with these issues, who genuinely in their brain, there's something wrong in their brain telling them that they are in the wrong body and they need to mutilate it, are not getting the actual help they desire, the actual help that they need. They're just superficially being changed. I'm like, there you go. Good luck with it. And even before this all blew up, the numbers on this were never good. Transitioning has never lowered the suicide rate.
It increased it.
And all they're doing is making that worse by LARPing is this stuff because I need to feel special. I feel a little different. So obviously I'm a whole new person. No, you're not. You're not that special.
No. And see, that's the thing. I don't go in. I mean, a lot of people that's close to me, they know what I do. I kind of announce on some of the stuff that I've done. A lot of folks know that I'm actually in medicine, right? Mm-hmm. I'm telling them, I'm like, look, y'all, I know this. A lot of things that I've done, they can't take my license away, because I'm not doing nothing that's putting anybody's lives at danger. But what I am telling them is this. I said, y'all have to understand, it's not about you. Anybody that's out there that's listening right now, when you hear these things that they're doing right now in the medical field, like what you just said, they're changing it up. It's all coming down to that almighty dollar, man. Let me tell you what happens with medicine. If we in medicine, if we can put something down and get approval through legislation to diagnose something as a diagnosis, we can treat it medicinally, which means cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm telling you, that's why I tell them, I say, y'all, I'm trying to help y'all because they really don't care about you. If any one of you guys that's on the panel or anybody in the chat right now, if you came into the office and you start telling me, okay, Todd, so I've been experiencing this pain in my stomach right here. It feels like a sharp pain. My brain is going to be turned into what I'm getting ready to possibly prescribe you. Right. Even if there's nothing really wrong with you, but all I'm doing is I'm basing this off of what you're telling me what's wrong with you. So it was a time where you go and I don't feel like I'm myself. I like men, and I think that I'm okay. You have gender dysphoria. What I'm going to do, I'm going to write you a script to go see a psychiatrist, psychologist, etc. And we're going to da. So it was a time to where the psychologists were only allowed to treat them in a sense to where they were able to talk them through because they was letting them know you have gender, like you guys mentioned, you have gender dysphoria, and it's usually it's a phase. And after we able to talk you through it and go, talk you through it and stay with you through this phase, most of them actually get over, or they just let them know, come to realization, really just going to be real. You a man? No, you like men. Okay, you like men. You like both, or you're a woman. You like women, but because there was no money being made in that pharmaceutical wise, they said, okay, if we were able to push this through legislation, get approved through government, if we're able to put something down as a diagnosis, we can treat it medicinally, which means there's going to be more money coming in.
Did you ever see the videos? I think there were 3 of them that came out of this one hospital administrator talking about how much money they make off these surgeries and this treatment. If you haven't seen it, I'll need to find it for you because it'd make great videos for you being in the medical field. This woman, she gets up there and she tells us, look, there's one when it comes to because she went through all of the different treatments, but it was Jack, was it the fake penis or fake vagina? I want to say it was the fake penis that makes so much money.
More. Yeah.
Yeah. It made so much money that this one clinic that started doing it was able to fund their entire clinic off just that.
Yep. Yes.
Just that one procedure. And not just the procedure, but the follow-ups, the medicines that go along with it, all that.
Sir, is this see, that's what I'm saying. This is so dangerous. And it's man, you guys all know this past year with everything going on. I mean, us that went to school for 8 to 10, 11 years, whatever like that, all of a sudden, these people on the internet streets are allowed to sit here and tell us, shut up, you spared medical misinformation.
Yes.
I'm like, so dude, when I told you that my channel, I don't know if you knew my channel had got terminated actually. And
I saw when it happened, because I'd reached out. Yeah,
and I was able to get it back on because I'm like, okay, y'all think I'm joking. I'm about to get some attorneys. Show me anybody that work for YouTube that's gonna tell me that I'm pushing that medical information. I want to see their license to tell me that I'm pushing this out. Mm-hmm. Oh, put the channel back up there. So we think that we made a mistake. Oh, of course, I bet y'all did because they didn't think nobody was gonna come at them with an attorney. So what I'm saying is is this. I try to tell these people, look, whatever it is that y'all battling with, that you're struggling with, do it here. But when you talk about something medicinal wise, where you're going to try to do it through medicine cannot do anything regarding your thoughts. That's who you are. It can't do anything about that. You didn't take medicine to become that. Medicine's not going to cure it. So what ends up happening is that this is what they don't know. I scrubbed in on maybe 4 of those type of surgeries, gender reassignment surgery, dude. If y'all ever seen that, bro.
Yeah.
God, man, dude.
What channel was it that used to show that? There was a cable channel that used to show sex change operations. I've watched one. It's nasty.
The TLC used to do that.
Yeah.
And what they don't do though is that people get the glory. See, you can get this thing. It's like a psychological. I forget the name of what it's called, but in other words, you can get positive feedback psychologically for doing something that's negative. So an example I'll give you, my little nephew, when he was younger, they thought it was cute because my, I grew, Chicago, they would just have him, he couldn't talk, when kids begin to start talking. So they would always make him say patu bits. And that's his way of saying F-U-B,
Oh, right. Yeah.
So he kept on there, say it to him. He go patu bit. And everybody, they laugh about it. So he goes to school and guess what he starts saying to people? He started saying that. So the teachers get mad at him. They call the parents get him, and I'll never forget, they brought him home. They're yelling at him. They started spanking him, and while they were spanking him, he was going, patu bit. So he's confused now. He's like, I was getting praise of doing this for so long, and now he's getting spanked, and he's steady trying to say patu bits, thinking that's going to change up their attitude, make them feel better and laugh, but it wasn't. So that's what it came down to. They were positively reinforcing him to do something negative, not knowing it was going to have that type of an impact. So what they're doing with these things they're doing right now, as far as these kids and these young folks and even some adults, they're preying off of their ignorance to the long-term effects of what this is going to have on them. So everybody's behind them. You get it done. You get that done. That's right. We're behind you. We support you. Slay. And what they don't know is going to be a lifelong thing. They're going to constantly have to keep on putting pretty much another word for a dildo up there, fake vajayjay, to keep the body from closing it up. And they end up having ingrown hairs, infections. It's a constant thing that goes on for the rest of their life. And the ones that tries to come out on YouTube, they write me. I get letters every day from these folks. They can't even get on YouTube and explain how horrible it is for them. YouTube suppresses it like crazy. Now, YouTube would back you up and put it all in the algorithm when you make videos saying, I'm coming out and I'm going to get it done. But the minute you try to come out and say, hey, y'all, I made a big mistake, I'll never be able to change. YouTube suppresses it. Why is that?
Ty Sloan, thank you so much. Do you like that Davos, is that how you say it? Davos is how we say it in Michigan, and WEF say invest in China? No, I don't like anything about them or their commie investment schemes. No.
Yeah. Hey, Ty, do you have a Streamlabs?
Streamlabs?
Yeah, donation method.
Oh no, mine is through mine is through PayPal, and Cash App. I think that's I have to look. I don't even remember. I just have it posted on my own channel. I don't even. Yeah, it's PayPal and Cash App. I never heard of Streamlab.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Stargazer was asking because she throws our donation methods in the chat occasionally. She wanted to include yours.
Oh no, yeah, that's cool. If people do that, that's cool. If they don't, that's cool with me as well.
I saw a video today, and somebody was questioning it because this woman was up there. I don't even remember where, and I'm too lazy to pull it up. But she was during a Q&A. The person asking her a question. She's a gender activist, of course she is, and she's asked, "Well, how many trans and non-binary people are there?" And she goes, "Well, you see, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter." But what we see from the studies that we have, it's like 3% of adults. But what's really interesting, remember, it doesn't matter. But what's really interesting is it seems to be about 18 or 19% of kids. And I have no doubt believing that. And I'll tell you why. Because kids are impressionable, and it's really easy to get them to fall for stupid shit. And we have been pushing this stuff, not us, but society has been pushing that it's not just okay, that it's normal, and it's been positively reinforced to them so often that of course kids are falling for this, because kids want to have the approval of adults around them and the approval of their peers. The biggest thing that they did to stop smoking in America was get kids to say it's not cool. That took such a chunk out of the smoking market. And it wasn't that we had to raise taxes and all that. Didn't do it. It was making it so kids were, oh God, why are you smoking? That's horrible. That's gross. They used peer pressure. Peer pressure is an amazing thing. And it's been shown over and over and over again. And then you add it in where you have the pressure of all of the adults around them. Hey, you better be accepting. You better not question what this person's doing. You have the teachers bringing pride flags into the classroom. We watched a video last night, Ty. This substitute teacher, had been her first day. She went out and got her hair dyed purple, and she wrote "she" and "any" as her pronouns on the board. And when she told the kids that, one of the kids was like, 1,000 IQ, teach. This is what the kids are hearing. It's what of course they're going to repeat it. Oh, we've seen, I mean, this is simple brainwashing techniques. It really fucking is.
It's sad, man. I always say, give it, 10, 15 years from now, what we're going to see out there is going to be a result of what they're doing right now. I mean, you already see it already, the generations that I'll say the ones that's around my son's age right now, I call them the snow cone color social justice warrior crew. And just the fact that they are just so weak, so jellyback, so entitled, crybaby, easily offended. I'm like, I let them know too, y'all, this system does not care about y'all. It's setting you guys up to be destroyed. Do y'all understand it? Because guess what? When you hit the real world and you got to go out there and do something called work as an adult, the things that you guys are so passionate about and crying about right now, you're going to get a reality check that nobody gives a care. You show up to work. Yes, my pronouns, I don't care what time are you showing up. Can you work Monday through Friday, this time and that time? Okay, be there and wear a hard hat and wear glasses. But we don't care. They're going to get a reality check. Oh, well, I didn't know. Like that Starbucks. They made me work.
That Starbucks. Yes. I was going to ask if you saw the Starbucks video, because that was amazing.
They made me work 8 hours. And oh, my dude. Oh, my God.
I was so mad when I saw that video.
It's such. I hate when things make you cringe so bad that you just want to hurt the person.
I couldn't stop laughing. I used to work 10-hour days in a machine shop with no air conditioning. And it would get like 115 degrees in there. You're just coated in oil. By the end of the night, you just feel gross and tired. And you want nothing more than to take a nap in a bath. And this kid whined. I had to serve all the people. There were only 3 of us here. Shut up. Just, you don't know what problems are. You just don't.
Life is so hard. We're being a barista.
Right. And you see what it's doing though, and see that right there even adds to more anxiety to them, to where now if they complain like that kid is doing right there, guess what happened when he shows up to the clinic? I'm gonna write you a script for some such and such to kind of help you with. That's why I said it's set up to bank the medicine world, man. I'm telling you, and then to make it even worse, I tell them, you can read, and which I'm pretty sure you guys know this too, that most of antidepressant medication has a suicide rate increase on the label. It increases it. So I told him, I said, it's destroying you in it. So the very person said, this is how I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you this. It's going to make you feel better, but it's going to end up pretty much leading to you possibly killing yourself. Give it to me, doc. Just give it to me. Okay. But we're the bad ones because we're trying to sit there and tell you guys don't go into this stuff. But now we're homophobic. We're homophobic, and we're displaying hatred. But the ones that you're running to is the ones that's actually inevitably killing you. But we hate y'all. Okay.
I'm not even necessarily against the medicine on a short-term basis, but what you need to do is teach people how to deal with that stuff, because the medicine's not going to teach you how to deal with it. And we all build up to tolerances to medicine. So even if it's working for you right now, it's not going to long-term. It just doesn't.
Look, learning coping mechanisms is hard and takes time. I want an immediate solution now so I don't have to do anything.
True. That's the thinking.
Yes. See, that's what you just said hit the nail on the head, man, because that's what I try to tell them to do right now. I say it's interesting that whenever we watch a movie or we watch something and it makes us laugh, we laugh. If we watch something that kind of hit us in the, they pull on the heartstrings, you get a little emotion over. If you watch a movie that kind of leaves you melancholy, you get left melancholy. So what I'm saying that for is I let them know, we were meant, the reason why we have these emotions is because those emotions are actually our mechanisms. The reason why you sweat is because the body's trying to cool itself down. So if something is getting at you like that, and this is how your body has been designed to cope with it, with these emotions, go through those emotions because they're not going to last, So by going in and getting this medication, I told them it keeps you there. It doesn't get you past it. It keeps you there. If one of you guys came in and saw me, because my specialty is orthopedics, right? If you came in and saw me and you had a broken leg, and I mean, your leg is just broke. I mean, compound fracture bone sticking out. And I tell you, okay, I'm just going to wrap it up. I'm going to give you this medication right here. You're not going to feel the pain in your leg no more. When you look at me and go, but are you going to fix it? Oh, no. I'm just going to give you the medication because you won't feel the pain. But my leg is still broken. That's fine. I'm just going to give you the medication. You're not going to feel the pain. So that's what I'm telling people. They're not dealing with the actual issue that these people in that part of that community are really facing. They're giving you something that's making you feel good, but it's not actually addressing the real issue.
Just tell them their leg is trans crooked. Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to put it, because people are not looking at it as though it's an actual medical issue when it clearly is. Psychology is a medical issue. So the idea that you're just going to gloss over it, we're just going to make you feel better about it, that doesn't teach you how to cope, and you're going to crash. It happens all the time.
Yes, sir. It's amazing. I never thought that when I got into the medical field, I'd see more drug dealers there than I did in my family in Chicago. I said, we just get to do it legally.
Right.
Man. But they get lifelong crackheads just like my family got lifelong crackheads.
I know a person, I'm not going to say who, because there's a chance somebody that knows him listens, who is just a drug abuser. And what they would do is they would go to their doctor and say, yeah, it still hurts. And they would get a ass ton of it wasn't Oxy. What were they taking? What was it?
Vicodin.
No,
yeah, Vicodin was huge. Vicodin was huge. Oxycodone, Oxycontin.
It was one of those, and they would just every couple months just go get a whole brand new bag. If you have to take pain medicine that long, there's an underlying issue. Now, people go, wait, monkey, you take pain medicine. I have one that can't be fixed. I literally have a problem that can't. My spinal cord is bruised. It will never heal. The rest of your body heals. Now, it might even heal to where there's still some pain and stuff, and you might have to pop some. Remember, the only medicine I take besides my gabapentin is Motrin. I don't take anything that fucks with my brain, other than the
Right.
gabapentin, which does. But that's just to dull my senses, because without it, everything's turned up. Most of the if you have a backache that's been going on for 5 years, it's either in your head or your doctor's not doing their job.
Yep.
You should not be popping Vicodin for the rest of your life because I have a backache. Shouldn't happen.
No.
Hashtag not all before. I have extenuating circuit. I get it. Most people. It's not how the body works. Your body heals itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nerves are one of the hardest things to heal. They're actually among one of the slowest things to heal in the body as well. They heal really slow, and if they're ever cut, they actually grow back really slow as well.
Yeah, mine. I've been watching. I keep hoping. Everybody sends me stuff on this because they know my problem, and most of the research that goes into spinal cord injuries is for a severed spinal cord. And they've made some great advances in it, stuff that'll be hitting the human market here in probably a decade, that are going to do great things for paraplegics and quadriplegics, but not for me. There's a promising study coming out about specifically the bruised spinal cord, and I'm waiting. I'm hoping that shit happens, because I hate taking pills. I don't understand people who like doing it.
Your actual spinal cord is bruised. Like, at what level?
At C5.
Oh shoot! Wow.
Entire body's in pain all the time.
Dang, dude.
Shit happens, man. I'm still a happy person. Just my
That's
little
awesome.
life.
Yes, because C5. Yeah, I mean, even though that's like one of the lower ones, though, but still, that's like almost where most of the weight bearing of the head tap is at. So, yeah.
Yeah, the only part of my body that's not pretty much in constant pain is my head. So
they tried traction and everything on you before?
Yeah, everything has been done.
A nerve stimulant, and
we got to the point where my doctor looked at me and she goes, "Yeah, we've tried everything. We can try a pain clinic again if you'd like." I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm good." But yeah, no, I've been through it all, and I appreciate him trying, but it doesn't stop me. And this is, I guess, part of why it bothers me when I see people with a little tiny ache. I can't do that because you're so mad that you had to serve people at Starbucks all day. You know what I'd give to be able to work an 8-hour shift on my feet right now? You have any idea? That might sound like a stupid thing to say for those of you toiling away at work right now, and you're like, "Oh, this guy makes his money on the internet." I literally can't do your job. And I'd give anything to. It's a much steadier paycheck, by the way.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, so when I see these whiny little bitches that, somebody used the wrong pronoun, like, you think you have a problem? Really?
Man.
That's a first world problem, childish nonsense.
Exactly.
Man, yeah, and it's amazing though, man. Like I said, it's amazing though that no one, like, I do it on my channel a lot. Whenever somebody would write me from that community, and they'll just say, "Hey, can you expound more upon, whenever you get someone that comes in, because someone that comes in with and especially like some of the men, or sometimes it can be women too, with a specific type of issue. Can you explain that more? Because what they don't, and like I said, again, it's all about these folks looking all happy and, oh, we're so joyous, but when they come into the clinic, and I get that chart, and look at it, and we got to see, oh wow, so this person only can use the bathroom once every 2 weeks because they are so wide open that the muscles can't even contract down on their fecal matter to even push it out. See, now that's the type of stuff they don't tell folks. And not on that, because it's so, check this out. This is what I'm saying. This is what I like to try to tell even the younger folks that even think about trying to do something like that. I'm like, see, it's amazing that they'll show you all this stuff in sex education, but they won't show you all the deep stuff that we get in there. Everybody knows that in your rectal area, that stuff is meant to be pushing out bacteria and all that, all the stuff that comes to the fecal matter. Well, we do know, y'all know that flies are attracted to that. So imagine what happens if you actually do stuff so much that you deaden the nerves back there to where you can't even tell if a bug crawled up in you or not. And it happens all the time. Like, we get them. I'm talking maybe 2 to 3 times a week. There is somebody of that type of lifestyle. I'm not just talking about homosexuals, I'm talking about people that do oral, I mean not oral, I'm sorry, anal, they come in and they got some type of infection because something that got in there and laid some eggs. Where the biggest ones we get are maggots and roaches. Yes, roaches.
That's
Well, that's
nasty.
gross.
Because
Hey,
they
girlfriend farted roaches on me the other day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Real quick, let me grab this over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Vol Potato. Said, I don't know, Monkey. You say your spinal cord will never heal, but have you tried crystals? Stop it. Yeah, it's a power crystal. All I need is the right herb. That's what it is.
Yeah, a lot of times guys like we put you in water to goes almost up to your chin, and the buoyancy of it can take some of the pain off. But of course, you can't stay in water forever. But
dude, I love being in a swimming pool. It is swimming either in lakes or in a pool. It's just it takes all of the pressure off.
yeah.
Somebody said, try edibles. Dude, I've tried everything. Edibles and alcohol are my last minute. I haven't slept in a week. I just need to go to sleep, and it's all that works. And I don't sleep well. It just at least gives me a little bit of sleep, but I don't get high off it. I'm going to chew these up. I'm going to go lay down in about an hour, and I'll finally at least sleep.
You do you find yourself having to reposition quite a bit too?
I wake up constantly. And if I have to reposition, I couldn't tell you. It's just if I reposition, that's my body goes, we shouldn't have done that. Like, I know, but I was asleep. I didn't do it on purpose.
How long ago did you do this?
How old am I? I'm 46. 7 years ago.
Dang. Ah, man. Yeah. And if it's still still doing that right now, I wonder if that's like from is it compressed, or I mean, I know it's bruised, but is it a result of it being compressed, or
the disc between 5 and 6 bulged, and they went in and cleaned it out, and
they didn't put a cage in there?
It's fused. I'm actually fused.
You're fused. I got you. So they didn't do a cage. Okay.
No, I'm fused at 5, 6, and 6, 7. But they cleaned it out and fused it, and I woke up and I'm like, yeah, it still hurts. And I went back like a week later for a checkup, and I didn't see the doctor. I saw the nurse. Oh, well, the physician's assistant. And she's oh, that happens sometimes after surgery. And I go back about a month later, still in the same pain. And the doctor goes, that's not right. You should have woke up and the pain should have basically been gone. I'm like, well, it's not. And that's when they did the MRI and found, that it's actually bruised. The short time that was pushing against it was long enough to bruise it. Shit happens, man.
I would have thought did they suggest burning it, just completely burn it so it wouldn't send down a pain signal? I mean, is it like, I guess what I'm asking is it at the level to where right where the is it actually like the spinal cord? Is it one of like the actual branches of nerves that comes out from the spinal cord? Shoot. Oh yeah.
They could do that, but then I wouldn't feel anything below the neck. Yeah.
Now they didn't say nothing like they didn't diagnose you with having nothing called stenosis, did they?
No.
Okay, good, because that's when actually the canal is actually closing up and squeezing on the spinal cord.
Frosted, thank you. Have you tried letting a roach crawl in your ass? I haven't. I didn't know. The
only reason why that happens to the people that happens to, though, because the roaches, of course, they eat anything, but they go after something that's pretty much dead, just like flies do.
Yeah. No, and I'm honest to God, I've learned to live with this. The first couple of years with this was rough. Like coming to terms with how my body is now, that was rough. But I've learned to live with it as best I can. It sucks, but what am I going to do? So my notice this anytime I bring this up, guys, life can suck, but so much of it doesn't.
Yeah.
Even that this has sucked for 7 fucking years. You know how much great times I've had in 7 years? All 3 of my grandchildren were born in that 7-year period.
Oh, nice.
And y'all know that. You guys have heard me gush over them. Wouldn't trade it for the world, man. If this is what I had to go through to get them, happy to.
That's sweet. It's awesome, man.
Oh, dude. Speaking of which, guys, just a reminder, Little Butt is doing her yearly fundraise for the American Heart Association. If you'd like to donate to that, just let me know in the donation that's what it's for, and that will go over there. Thank you guys for all of the donations to that. She gets so happy about being able to do that because she's got grandpa out here shilling her stuff. She got to be the top fundraiser to school last year because of these wonderful people in my audience here. By a lot, you guys.
Nice.
Y'all like tripled up on the next one down. That was kind of mean, actually. You know how bad that other kid must have felt? How dare you?
But it's not their fault that their grandfather doesn't have a YouTube show.
I know. I should have had a YouTube channel, sucker.
You're not the you're the cool grandpa.
I really am, yeah. She actually does her own little videos now. She's not allowed to put them out onto their internet. I love her mom for that, but she still, you know, films them and she'll like send them to me and stuff. But originally, before she ever started trying to do them in the new method, she was just doing grandpa in the air. It was so cute. She's like, hi, welcome to my show.
No.
Yeah, now I'm gushing on my grandkids. Y'all can shut up. I don't care.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. It's how it's supposed to be.
I have a breaking video for you, Monkey.
Oh God, what do you have?
Very important. It's the last link. No audio. Don't put any audio up.
All
It's
right.
got a song on it.
Okay.
It's very important. I think.
Oh,
all
I
of us
saw
need to
this
do that.
earlier. Yeah.
Well, just ruin the fun then.
But wait, I need to shut that sound off because I do not want to hear the audio in myself because it's annoying. I don't know where this was. This is at a shop somewhere, y'all. I hope this was done as a joke. I really do.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I mean,
I
it's
hope
like
they
that
don't.
shop teacher.
They don't think that anybody actually thinks that they have asses that
Look,
even the
that's bringing all the boys to the yard.
yeah, with gravity.
Yeah, they're orbiting.
Oh, that's a true ponytail right there. Anyhow,
Well, it's the hair dropping between the cheeks that really got me. I was like, wow, that is
really sells it.
yeah, that kind of ties the whole thing together. So I had to share.
The Kardashians in 20 years, yeah.
It was getting too loving in here. And,
Well, I got to wrap up anyway. I got to go fight or find ghosts on Phasmophobia with Bubba. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you so very much for all of the support, the donations. You guys are awesome. Do not forget to check out Ty's channel. Is Modern Renaissance Man here on YouTube.
I'll drop a link to one of his newest videos right now.
Jack,
Oh,
anything
yeah.
you want?
Hey, and oh yeah, you don't really show your face, but I was gonna say you might have known this. To get you to generate some more stuff to come through to your channel, man. Hey, push out a whole lot of shorts.
I've seen that, and I just got to figure out a way to do it without showing my face. I'm not opposed to showing my face, but especially until I get internet where I can actually do it on a regular basis, I don't want to do it that way. So
They
What-
have
what-
it.
What other platforms are you on besides YouTube? Are you on Instagram or anything, or
No, I do
That's on
YouTube.
Rumble.
I'm on Twitter goofing around and on Twitch for video games. That's it.
okay? Because I was going to tell you a way where you can do that, where you can actually just get it to where you will post a video, and then like how you have your little picture right there, you can just do some audio over what you just seen, and that right there, you put it up there, and they throw it out there. That's what YouTube is really pushing out, and the reason why is this. Honestly, my Instagram kind of blew up a little bit lately here because of all those shorts, right? And I'm telling you the truth when I say this. To me, Instagram almost, well, they give you a limit. Instagram almost, if they didn't give you a limit, Instagram actually would pay you more than what YouTube does off those shorts. And what I'm saying is out of everything I do on YouTube, I'm just going to say it. Last month, I got a bigger paycheck from Instagram than I did from YouTube.
Damn.
And what I'm saying that for is that like they'll tell you, hey, put these shorts out there. They'll push them out there. You don't even have to show your face. Just you can. What they have this feature on the phone that if you're on Instagram, you can do what they call a remix. And so what it is, you can see the video, and then you can press this little button to where you are allowed to either show your face or you can cover your face, and you say the words behind. Like you can like let's just say you saw something stupid, like okay, for example, like what you just showed with that girl. I did a video where it showed the girl saying, my pronouns are blah, 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 blah. She said all these things. And then after she said it, I said, no, what you just described are symptoms. You just describe symptoms, and that's it. And all of a sudden, it took off, and all of a sudden, these folks all started like coming to it. Oh my God, I love that. Thank you for saying that. Then they'll ask if you have a YouTube channel. Then, you know, so it's just one way of actually getting them to come over there. Now on YouTube, when you do the shorts as well, YouTube pushes it out there because YouTube knows that Instagram is banking money off of those shorts. So now YouTube is all about trying to push shorts out there now. And yeah. But I'll be to email you and kind of give you a little bit of rundown of how that all works, though. You don't have to show your face at all. You can just get your picture and what you have right there, and you just being able to say some words behind what you just saw. That's gold.
I mean, that's basically what I did when I made videos here, because I've never shown my face. A lot of reactions to old stupid shit, and let them talk and then pause it while I put my face up there to. So yeah, just have to figure out which ones to do with shorts. I made shorts without showing my face.
Yep.
Like I said, I have made shorts before, long time ago, over a year and a half ago now, when I was at my father-in-law's house, but I was filming the outside while I did it. So yeah, definitely something to look into. And yeah, and if you would email me, that would be awesome.
Yep, will do.
Especially
Jack,
now that they're monetizable.
Huh?
Especially now that you can monetize.
Yeah, and YouTube is generating it out there like this now. They're going to actually start monetizing it the 1st of February is when they're going to start.
I already got mine. They told me shorts can be monetized. You just had to agree to the new terms.
The new terms and all that. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, you agreed to it, but they actually will start rolling out to pay you for doing it starting in February is what they told me.
Yeah.
But
that's good stuff. I like more money, so.
Yeah, and if that's going to be the thing right now, and again, it's a way of getting extra income, but it's also a way of people saying, okay, let me go over there and subscribe to, they'll say, let me go subscribe to, the Ranting Monkey channel because I like the stuff that he's putting out there. And you put out anything out there making fun of a lot of this nonsense going on out there. There's a group of people.
Dare you suggest I would make fun of these people?
See, and I do.
Dare you,
dude? I do. And see what you just did. I did that too. I'll go into the whole rant. How dare you? Ecosystems are failing. People are dying. Yeah,
I should be in school. Real quick, Mick brings up that Jacinta Ardern resigned today. I was going to talk about that, and instead I got to talk to Ty, so we'll have to talk about her tomorrow. Jack, anything you want to show?
I already dropped a link for my video, but thank you guys for the donations. You guys are awesome.
Ty, are you a Modern Renaissance Man everywhere?
Yes, I'm Modern Renaissance Man on YouTube, and I do have another channel called Man Husband Father on YouTube. I'm on Instagram as Modern Renaissance Man. The O in modern is a 0. I'm on Rumble as Modern Renaissance Man. The O is also a 0. I'm on Twitter as The Real Ty Smith. And I think I'm on TikTok as Modern Renaissance Man, the O being a 0.
If you reach out to him on Twitter, he's not on there very often. He's not like me. He's not over there.
Yeah, I'm learning the ropes about all that
24/7. But anyway, guys, I will be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey playing some Phasmophobia here in just a little while with our resident hobo Bubba Hotep. Thank you guys for joining us. Ty, Jack, pleasure as always, gentlemen.
Always glad to be here.
You guys have a good night.
Everybody, have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Ty always leaves before the show is done. We have to teach him about the song.